From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, July the 20th, 2018. Palestinian snipers in Gaza opened fire this evening at a group of Israeli soldiers during violent riots at the Gaza security fence. One Israeli soldier was hit by the sniper fire and severely injured. He later died of his wounds. In response, IDF tanks and aircraft struck several Hamas terror positions in Gaza. 3 members of Hamas's military wing were killed. The army then instructed residents of some southern Israeli communities located near the Gaza border to stay close to bomb shelters in case Hamas begins firing rockets once again at Israel. Hamas, meanwhile, rejected an offer from U.S. representatives to halt all violence against Israel in return for humanitarian aid for Gaza. White House Special Advisor Jared Kushner and U.S. Special Representative for International Negotiations Jason Greenblatt wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post yesterday, together with U.S. Ambassador to Israel David Friedman, telling the terror group they must recognize the state of Israel, follow diplomatic agreements, and renounce violence, writing, if Hamas demonstrates clear, peaceful intentions, not just by word, but more importantly by deed, then all manner of new opportunities becomes possible. They wrote there is no reason the Palestinians in both the West Bank and Gaza can't enjoy economic success and integrate into a thriving regional economy if they let us help. They also demanded that Hamas return the remains of IDF soldiers Hadar Golden and Oron Shaul, as well as 2 Israeli citizens it is holding, and hand over control of border crossings to the Palestinian Authority. Hamas today dismissed the U.S. offer, calling its envoys, quote, spokesmen of the Israeli occupation, unquote. A balloon carrying flammable material landed in the backyard of a home in Jerusalem today. 4 children in the southern neighborhood of Gilo discovered the balloon, and security forces were trying to determine whether the balloon was launched by terrorists, like the hundreds of balloons and kites being sent over the Gaza security fence into southern Israel. If so, this would be the first incident of its kind in Jerusalem. Well, American Jewish organizations are outraged over the arrest yesterday of a conservative rabbi in Israel for performing wedding ceremonies there. As we reported to you, Rabbi Dov Chayun was taken for questioning early yesterday morning, later released following a complaint about him by a local rabbinic court. In Israel, marriages are only allowed by the ultra-Orthodox rabbinate, but that is normally not a law that is enforced. Israel's Attorney General Avichai Mandelblit also ordered Chayun's questioning to be stopped. The Times of Israel cited numerous Jewish groups like the United Synagogue of Conservative Judaism, who said the actions against Chayun marked a new and dangerous step in the ongoing attack on religious freedom and civil liberties in Israel. And the Conference of Presidents of major American Jewish organizations said they were deeply concerned. UJA Federation of New York CEO Eric Goldstein said the action was dramatically inconsistent with Israel's promise as the home of the entire Jewish people. The Jewish Federations of North America said we have high expectations and hopes for Israel. As the national homeland of the Jewish people, it is meant to be a home for all Jews and a reflection of Jewish values. CEO of the Rabbinical Assembly, Rabbi Julie Schoenfeld, said Chayun's detention undermines the integrity of government institutions and is contrary to the values of Israel and the Jewish people. Today, dozens of rabbis who also perform weddings outside of the rabbinate turned themselves in to police stations symbolically in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv as a show of solidarity for Chayun. No action was taken against them. And Chayun, by the way, was one of a number of rabbis from all streams of Judaism that later yesterday took part in a special study session ahead of Teisha Bader, the 9th day of the month of Av, when Jews remember and mourn the destruction of the temple. Israel's president, for the 4th year in a row, led the gathering and addressed the incident. Reuven Rivlin said we must continue to talk, find the solutions, find the creative ways that honor us all. And another issue Jewish organizations here in the U.S. are upset about is the nation-state law, which, as we reported to you, was passed yesterday in the Knesset. Well, last night, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu posted a video on his Facebook page reaffirming Israel as a democratic state with equal rights for all.
The nation-state law defines the rights of the Jewish people to self-determination in Israel. It also maintains the rights of all Israeli citizens, Jews and non-Jews alike, to preserve their culture, their heritage, their language, and their identity. The new law affirms Israel's commitment to preserving the bond between Israel and Jews around the world. The unity of our people is a key source of our strength. Israel will continue to be a home for all Jews, no matter where you are from or how you pray.
Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, July the 20th. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by a concert with Nefesh Mountain. At 8, a look at Israel's treatment at the United Nations. At 9, it's the film Leah and Daria, and coming up right after this newscast tonight at 5:30, a look at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, July the 20th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.